passes. He threw for under 150 yards. He got sacked 7 times. He had multiple turnovers, yet he still won the game. He's the first quarterback in the Super Bowl era to do those things. So, Danny, you're in a bit of a pickle here. You're a huge fan of Justin Herbert's statistical
most passing yards the first 5 years, most completions.
Who cares
a bunch.
about wins?
Yeah.
Don't care about wins. So now he won and played like a superhero. Where do you land on Justin Herbert's performance?
A battered superhero.
Yeah, I mean, you think you've boxed me into some sort of take corner here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You boxed yourself.
Perfectly.
Nick has said with Colin and with you guys, you can't say it doesn't matter if he loses because the eye test looks good, and then when he wins but the eye test isn't there, you can't really build that case that it was
We've
impressive.
got you cornered.
Watch me. That was wildly impressive. He's a football player's football player.
I do like that. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. I'm with you
Up
there.
across the table. Like, quote after quote after quote of players that said there was never any doubt that he was going to play. He inspired us all week and had surgery on a broken hand. And then of his 60 rushing yards, like 33 of them were on the final drive of regulation to tie.
Those were good.
Those were good. Or the winning drive in overtime on those 2 field goal drives. So he was tough, impressive. We all have respect for the Eagles defense. He got the win. And what I've been saying all year about Herbert is he has been overcoming an impossible situation around him.
Right.
And it was again the case last night.
Yeah.
Wait,
yes.
but Nick, when
I'm agreeing with you.
No, okay, but when other people are presented with that situation, they don't win.
Right.
And he wins consistently. You're
Right.
acting like last night was an aberration.
I'm not acting like anything. I haven't said anything.
I've watched the show.
I think last night, Justin Herbert. Go ahead, go.
No.
I think last night, Justin Herbert, who you can say it's all about grit and toughness, but the guy made one awesome pass the whole game that you texted me and tweeted about. Like, he had 138 yards passing.
What a throw.
70 of them were on a dump off to Vidal. So he had 60 other yards, but in those 60 yards, it was enough for a text and a tweet because of all of the arm talent eye stuff that we have been force-fed with this player, where the argument has been, man, winning. No. Finding a way. Don't you understand that is just the tiny piece of how you evaluate a great quarterback? And how you really evaluate a great quarterback is eye test and most completions in his first 5 years and most yards. And now in a game where the stats are awful, where he turned the ball over multiple times.
He still passed the eye test.
Okay. But when the stats are awful,
oh God,
it's but he found a way.
Wild.
And so what I'm saying is, of course I was impressed by that, because that type of game is what this player in his half-decade career has been to me missing. And this year, I have been impressed by him because he is overcoming. More impressed than I was by the 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns early. I think that's consistent. What I don't think is consistent is folks who are like, when his numbers are awesome and the team's mediocre and it feels a little meaningless, he's great. And when the numbers are bad, but he makes the clutch plays and the team wins, he's great. It's a reverse Calvin.
No, it's not. This is so disingenuous, and I'm going to absolutely positively lose my mind. This is what he's been missing. I'm going to use Mahomes as the reference point right now because Mahomes has never successfully overcome what Justin Herbert is overcoming here. Patrick Mahomes has never done it. He's never done it. Justin Herbert's O-line is absolutely decimated. Absolutely decimated. People were talking about Patrick Mahomes and the defense against the Texans. Justin Herbert was pressured 26 times, Patrick Mahomes 21, and Justin Herbert only had 26 pass attempts, Patrick Mahomes 33. So Justin Herbert was literally pressured at a higher rate. So It's just really ridiculous putting it all on the shoulders of Justin Herbert to find ways to win and pretending like other quarterbacks were that. Again, when we're talking about this, we're specifically talking about Patrick Mahomes because that is what you know. Nick and Danny are really all worked up about because Nick likes to pretend like, oh, Mahomes has always done this and he does this all the time, blah, 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 blah. And yet going into the Texans game, this is what Nick said. This is what he said. Offensively, if everything has to be within a second and a half. And I trust Andy to figure that out. Who is the coaching staff that Justin Herbert has been able to rely on throughout the course of his entire career? Who has been his Andy Reid? And then this follow-up. And so then the question becomes, can the Chiefs' defense hold up its end? And can the Chiefs' defenses hold up its end? And as you guys know, and I'm not going to replay this clip, but how he said they can't expect Patrick Mahomes to carry the Chiefs against the Texans, he's like, they can't, you can't expect that. And yet, we're pretending that Justin Herbert is just failed to do this, whereas other quarterbacks have consistently succeeded to do that. And I just don't understand what we're trying to say here. I really don't. Okay. Justin Herbert, as a rookie quarterback, played unbelievable for a coach that got fired and had a terrible defense. Bottom in the NFL, 26.6 points per game. What do you want him to do? I mean, his defenses as a rookie are giving up 31 points, 29, 28, 27. It's like, what do you want him to be able to overcome in this situation? And now, again, his defense is so terrible. He has a top 5 offense, 27.9 points per game with Brandon Staley. And his defense is giving up 27 points, bottom 3 in the NFL, bottom 3, bottom 4, whatever it is. I mean, that's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. That game that he needed to magically overcome in overtime against the Las Vegas Raiders, which was one of the most insanely managed games by Staley. People question whether he should be fired right there when they gave up 35 points. Lost in overtime. Like, that's his fault. It's his fault that they gave up 41 points to the Houston Texans. Like, that's his fault. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Justin Herbert in that infamous Raiders game was asked to throw the ball times. They asked that man to throw the ball 64 times. Do you know how insane that is? I don't even know what to tell you there. 64 times. That's just so outrageous. 383 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't even know what to tell you. It's so insane. I mean, he had 20 passing first downs. 20. And it was his fault that they missed a field goal. It was his fault that on their own 18, they did a 2-yard run on 4th and 1 and then gave up a field goal. Like, that's his fault. His coach is insane. And again, it's his fault in the playoffs. His first ever playoff game on the road, he threw 43 times, 273 yards, and a touchdown. Got a whopping 67 yards rushing. That's his fault. That's his fault. His number 1 target was Gerald Everett. And by the way, this is what Justin Herbert did against the Houston Texans in the playoffs on the road, not at home. And this is what Patrick Mahomes just did against the same defense, similar defense, this great elite defense. 12 for 30 was Patrick Mahomes, 131 yards, 4.44 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a 14 passer rating before it got juiced up a little bit in that final drive. Justin Herbert was 14 for 32, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. You'd be like, wait, but they got more interceptions and Patrick Mahomes dropped passes. Do you not know that a couple of his interceptions went through the fingers of his receiver? Like, literally should not have been intercepted. But even so, there were still interceptions. Had a higher pass rating, 40.9 to Patrick Mahomes, 14. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And Justin Herbert was actually pressured more than Patrick Mahomes. And he did not have Andy Reid to help him figure out a way. And his defense did not take care of business and hold them to 20 or less points. In that game, Justin Herbert receivers had 3 drops. Just saying. Just saying. So, as frustrated as Nick wants to get and be like, what frustrates me so much is that you essentially want to have your cake and eat it too. And it's just like, show me the time that Patrick Mahomes is overcoming all of these terrible situations that Justin Herbert finds himself in. that he has to overcome terrible coaching, that he has to overcome terrible offensive line play and not have a coach help him as well, a terrible defense. When has he done those things? Because if you say, well, what he did in 2018, they had a terrible defense and he had the most dominant offense, like, what are you saying? He had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, but in 22, he had an elite O-line, the highest pass block win rate I've ever come across that I keep repeating a million times, a 75% pass block win rate, and an Andy Reid special of yak, through the roof. And Travis Kelce, you know, Hall of Famer Travis Kelce had his best season of his entire life. And Nick Wright himself admitting that that was a top and elite defense in the NFL, that they were top in the NFL in third downs for, stopping, the opposing team on third downs, and they were top in the NFL in pressures. I don't think he's carrying everything there. Seems like he has some help. Spags, Andy, Travis, Juju Smith, Schuster is so bad. Oh, really? He had the highest reception percentage, and Mahomes led the NFL in yak. And Nick himself admitted that was a dink and dunk offense. Mahomes. Nick himself admitted that dink and dunk offense, and you're winning games. That's coaching. That is coaching. He won a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The very team and quarterback that Nick says they're not good. Jalen Hurts isn't a good quarterback. He's a problem. So, you beat a bad quarterback in the Super Bowl. Like, that's impressive. Who fumbled is not good. Where Mahomes had wide open receivers. I went through the film. I showed you the highlights. Mahomes literally throwing 2 wide open receivers, and he threw like for 180 yards. I think he had like 22 pass attempts or something. I mean, he only threw the ball 27 times. I mean, that's not good. Everyone always says you have to throw the ball at least 30 times. I mean, his team rushed for 158 yards, 6.1 yards per carry. I don't know. I'm just saying he won with Kadarius Toney. Oh, you mean who had a 65-yard punt return? You think that matters? You think that helps? And that same Jacksonville Jaguars team, his defense only gave up 20 points, and his offense only scored 27 points. So Justin Herbert actually scored more points. And one of those touchdowns wasn't even by Patrick Mahomes, it's by the backup quarterback. Patrick Mahomes won that game only throwing the ball 30 times, 195 yards, and then again held the Cincinnati Bengals to only 20 points. That's not too bad for a terrible defense and a terrible team that Patrick Mahomes just had to carry. I mean, talk about such a bad team. 6 All-Pro, 7 Pro Bowlers, Mahomes, Kelce, Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Tooney, Chris Jones, Tommy Townsend, then a bunch of repeats, obviously, for All-Pros holding an elite Cincinnati Bengals offense top in the NFL. Joe Burrow, Taggin, etc., etc. Jamar Chase to 20 points. And just so we're clear, the Kansas City Chiefs pass blockman rate 75%. 75%. That amazing O-line last year that everyone said about the Philadelphia Eagles was 67%. And we know Patrick Mahomes didn't carry the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023. His defense did 17 points per game, holding the Miami Dolphins to 7, holding the Baltimore Ravens to 10 points. 10 points. So we could just keep making stuff we can do that. We could just keep making stuff up. I'll do it too. No. Me and Justin Herbert are actually friends. Me and Josh Allen, we hang out on the weekends all the time. Actually, this is true. Patrick Mahomes actually asked me for advice. I know it's crazy. He hits me up and he's like, "Hey man, I got a question for you." I'm like, "Yeah man, what do you want? Life stuff? Football stuff?" And he's like, "Kind of both." You know, like he asked me for relationship advice. He asked me for football stuff, you know. I actually helped him develop his accuracy and his field vision. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't realize that. But I'm actually the one that taught Patrick Mahomes everything he knows. Yep. Everything he knows. I actually introduced Taylor and Travis together. Me and Taylor go way back. Oh yeah, we've been friends forever. Yeah, we've been friends forever. Andy, me and him actually had Thanksgiving together. you know, they lost, and he just needed to calm down. And after that loss, he was like, "Hey man, do you mind if we grab some dinner?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, of course, Andy. I got your back. Don't worry, man." And he goes, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Andy, it'll be okay, bud. Yeah, we could just keep making stuff up all we want. Doesn't make it accurate, doesn't make it true, doesn't mean it's worth sharing. But to like even undercut what Justin Herbert is, he broke his hand. His offensive line has been atrocious. He does not have the reliance of this otherworldly coaching, this otherworldly, you know, offensive weapons, run game, you know, whatever it may be. An absolute suffocating defense. The defense is good. The defense obviously in this game was great, you know, no doubt about it. But whether they were even able to pull off this win, like think about it. What if Jalen Hurts throws that touchdown to win the game and they lose? Does that now downplay what Justin Herbert was able to do? And then that would be like, see, Justin Herbert wasn't good enough. He's not good enough to be able to come away with wins here. And it's like the dude did everything he possibly could. And yet, this was absolutely a game that they could have lost. Absolutely positively. The Chargers 1,000. I mean, his field goal kicker missing for the Eagles missed 2 field goals, or 3 field goals. Definitely at least 2 that would have had clearly devastating consequences for the Chargers if he just made one of them. So, like, we gotta be serious here. We gotta be serious here. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Justin Herbert and the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers? Are you impressed by Herbert last night? And do you think he's being held to a fair enough standard? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.